Celebrate Canadian filmmakers on Super Channel Fuse with an exclusive homegrown event.
I'm ready.
Go.
The Canadian Film Fest presented by Super Channel brings this year's festival into your home for a second year as a virtual experience.
Goodbye.
Every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night until April 18th. Enjoy the premieres of indie films and shorts from critically acclaimed and up-and-coming Canadian producers and directors.
And this is where the donkey starts talking.
Immerse yourself in this inspiring and spirited event, both on air and online, with live Facebook Q&A sessions that follow the films.
Makes sense. Start it.
Experience the Canadian Film Fest, proudly presented by Super Channel.
Hi, Ashleigh. Congratulations. Yet another edition of the Canadian Film Fest. And I want to ask you, given the incredible number of films around these days, maybe in spite of the pandemic or because of it, what is the state of indies in your mind now in 2021?
Well, this year was a banner year for submissions for the festival, which was surprising. I think part of that, we changed our submission status or our premier requirements this year. So we had more submissions than normal. And we also had a lot of submissions of filmmakers who are creating art during the pandemic, finding ways to make films despite lockdowns, using the environments, the gear, the crew, the technology, whatever they can to create art. So I think a lot of filmmakers are also now trying or learning how to produce and work in a pandemic. I mean, going to sets now, it's, full PPE, COVID testing, social distancing, the way films are being shot are different. So the need to create and to bring a voice to Canadian film is still there. And it's really impressive what Canadian filmmakers are doing to create and deliver art.
How true. You can't keep the artistic spirit down. And I just want to say that you and your team produced our TFCA Gala Awards, and it was full PPE, and it was done with great precaution, and you did such a great job. So it can be done if proper precautions are being taken. So
exactly.
I think it's an exciting time. I think we're seeing stuff that we would never have in the past. So I think it's been good for art. Now, as the director of the festival, you are exposed to so many films and filmmakers, and it must be terribly gratifying to be able to help them in this way. If you just want to talk about maybe someone or a couple of people who you've helped.
Yes, I think that is the biggest drive for me, is supporting Canadian filmmakers coming from a filmmaking background and having so many friends and colleagues in the industry. I know how important it is to filmmakers to exhibit their work and get it up in front of an audience. This year is a special year for the festival because our opening night feature is Sugar Daddy. And it's directed by Wendy Morgan, but stars Kelly McCormick. And she wrote, produced, and stars in the film. And this is the third film that Kelly's brought to the festival. She brought her first feature play, The Film. Then she participated in our industry series and was inspired by the directing class that she took. And she went and created another film, which was Barn Wedding, which she brought to us. And then from there, she kept going, and now she has created Sugar Daddy with an incredible team. Lauren Grant, Lori Lazinski are producers. As I said, Wendy directed, and it's just an incredible film. It's beautifully shot. The story is so engaging and challenging, and we are honored to have it open the festival this year.
Oh, I love to hear that. We'll keep an eye on her.
Yes.
You're not catering anymore?
No, God, no. I'm just here with a friend. It's like a paid dating thing.
So, Dee, what do you do?
I'm a musician.
What do you play? I play a bunch of instruments.
And this.
Sorry?
You do this. You get paid for your time.
If you could just name me 2 films that you particularly love and the reasons why, and just
Sure.
let us in on that so we can book tickets.
Yeah, okay. So I think everyone should see Sugar Daddy for sure. Opening night, Thursday, April 1st. The other 2 I would recommend is White Elephant. It's from director Andrew Chung, and it is a coming of
Andrew Chung.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. So it's a coming of age story about a South Asian girl growing up in Scarborough in the 90s. And the film has like comedy, romance, charm, but it also examines race relations and it reframes like 90s pop culture. And it really kind of hits home in those like high school crushes and relationships that stay with you forever. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think we can all think of that person. Yeah. So it's a great, and also it's Andrew's feature debut. So we're so thrilled to have that as part of the festival. And then the other one I would recommend is Woman in Car, and it's directed by
Ellen Joy.
Yeah,
Murdoch Mysteries.
Murdoch. So for all the Murdoch fans, this is a great feature to see Helene in a different role. It's an intense family drama, and it also stars Leanne Balaban. And the directorial vision in this film is like really like distinct. The way Vanya has created the palette, the framing, the intensity of the relationships. It's a must watch for the festival.
To Charlotte.
To Charlotte.
And my
Yay, another one to mark down. So that's 3. Thank you so much. Now, tell me something. This is your second online festival.
It is.
And we all know how great it would be if we could only be in theaters together and watch and clap and laugh and
I know.
gasp and all of that. But tell me the good things that have come out of the online work.
Online, well, we're based in Toronto, so our audience has typically been Toronto-centric, and we've been fortunate to have filmmakers travel to the festival before. But now, because we're on Super Channel, who really, first of all, they saved the festival. Without them, last year, the festival would have gone bankrupt and our program would have disappeared. So they really came in to save the festival. Don McDonald is just so generous and supportive of Canadian filmmakers that he created this opportunity for us. And now that we're on Super Channel, we have a nationwide audience. So we have audience from the West Coast to the East Coast. We are able to engage a lot more people. And we heard from those people during the festival who said, you know, I've never been to a Toronto Film Festival, or I've never heard of the Canadian Film Fest. I wouldn't necessarily, I'm not a festival going person, but I watched the festival on Super Channel. I watched all of the films. I loved the content. So those kind of responses were really meaningful to us as festival organizers, programmers, but also to the filmmakers whose films now had a larger audience.
Now, what about the online component? How can people watch?
So to watch the festival, you need a subscription to Super Channel. And I'll say this, a yearly subscription to Super Channel is costs less than a festival pass, an in-person festival pass. And so not only do you get our festival, you get all of this great Canadian content and some of your like Hollywood favorites as well. So get a subscription to Super Channel, but we also have on the education side and professional development side, we have our industry series, and you can watch that for free on the Canadian Film Fest Facebook page, the Super Channel Facebook page, and the Canadian Film Fest YouTube channel.
Great. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. So nice to see you again, Ashleigh. And thanks for all this great information that my audience can use. So best of luck,
Thank you.
and we'll be watching.
Thank you. Bye, Anne.
Bye-bye.
Celebrate Canadian filmmakers on Super Channel Fuse with an exclusive homegrown event.
I'm ready.
Go.
The Canadian Film Fest presented by Super Channel brings this year's festival into your home for a second year as a virtual experience.
Goodbye.
Every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night until April 18th, enjoy the premieres of indie films and shorts from critically acclaimed and up-and-coming Canadian producers and directors.
And this is where the donkey starts talking.
Immerse yourself in this inspiring and spirited event, both on air and online, with live Facebook Q&A sessions that follow the films.
Makes sense.
Start it.
Experience the Canadian Film Fest, proudly presented by Super Channel.